And it is time for white people to stand up and speak out, especially if you're a white straight male. It is our time to stand up for the people who have been oppressed and marginalized by this country. I really want us to think about this. Anytime that there's a fight for basic human rights in this country, it's always led by marginalized groups, whether it's the black community, whether it's women, whether it's the LGBTQIA plus community. When are white men going to stand up for basic human rights in this country? When are white men going to start calling out other white men who love to exploit people in this country? So if you're not already in the game, get in the game, lace up your boots. Black people need some rest and reparations. It's time for us to fight.
Wagwan, welcome back to my YouTube space, okay? Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you are doing okay. Don't worry about my Zion. Now, in this video, I'm gonna react on this. White Americans are on the street on 5th April. They are calling all white Americans, especially male, according to what I'm hearing from the social media or I'm watching the videos I'll play you, okay? Especially white male. And they have asked black people to stay at home and relax because black people have done a lot. And white people right now, or white Americans right now, have started realizing the importance of black people, or have realized that black people were right all along, because black people have been fighting for this. And why are they going to the streets? The MAGA supporters now are going to the streets. On April 5th, they are calling it hands-off movement. Okay? Hands-off movement. There's a number of things that is making these people going to the streets. Again, black people have said, we are staying home. And I've seen some videos where white Americans are telling black people, don't worry, just stay at home because you have done a lot. Now they're asking each and every white people, especially male, white male, to go to the street on April 5th. First of all, before we continue, I want you to watch these videos, very good videos from white Americans, and then we'll come back and talk about it, okay?
You need a reason? You need a reason to go protest on April the 5th? What, everything that's happening isn't good enough?
Hey everybody, I want to make sure that in between the jokes and the ranting that we are making sure to discuss what we are all doing and organizing to fight back against what's going on right now. Saturday, April 5th is the hands-off protest. It's happening in a bunch of locations in every single state in our country. To find out more information or a location near you, you can just Google hands off, or you can go to handsoff2025.com. As always, it is very important to know your rights before you go. I urge everybody to research your rights. You can go to the aclu.org website. They have a lot of great information about your protest rights. Our biggest priority should be to be peaceful and to keep everybody safe. If you can't make it to this protest, or you are unable to protest because of physical reasons or work or whatever, there's a bunch of different things that people are doing. And if you know any of them, I want you to comment them in the comment section. And I want us to keep talking about this and keep spreading this information. There are a bunch of protests that are happening and that are ongoing in our country, as well as online. So if you are unable to make it to a protest for whatever reason, you can join different online protests and, of course, the boycotting that we've been doing. Here is a list of all of the different companies that we've been boycotting, because let's be real, these people really give a fuck where we spend our money, or more importantly, where we do not spend it. Another thing you can obviously do is call your representatives, which many people have already been doing on the daily. So please join us in doing that as well. If there's anything I missed, please say it in the comments. And lastly, I urge everybody to join me and make a video themselves about the hands-off protest on April 5th. You don't even have to make a whole video about it like I did. If you're shy or you're not a content creator, just take a screenshot and post it, or type something out and post it. Even if you yourself are not able to participate that day, it is okay. It is still important for us to spread the message to as many people as possible, and we need to work together to do so.
I'm using this to fight for my rights and defend the Constitution. Let me show you how. April 5th is nationwide protest against Trump administration. I'm doing everything I can to get people out on the street. So do the same. Go and find out what time and where the protest is in your city. If you decide to distribute the flyers the way I do, make sure that you know the law of your city and your county. In Seattle, you are allowed to post flyers on utility poles and electrical poles. And so that's what I'm doing. And Seattle, baby, here I come.
There will be a protest against Trump across the U.S., and I need white people to show up for this protest, because for some of us, especially people of color, it's no longer safe to protest. A 21-year-old at Columbia University was recently targeted by ICE because she attended some pro-Palestinian protests. Despite having a 3.99 GPA and committing no crime, and she was a valedictorian, and a green card holder who has been in the USA since she was 7 years old, she was still targeted by ICE, and she went into hiding. But good news, she sued Trump and won a restraining order against the government and ICE from detaining her and deporting her. Her case question will be important for all of us. If the government can target immigrants or citizens alike for their political view and violate free speech, so each of us will protest in our own way, and for white people, you have the opportunity to show up for those who can't protest. Because of the trauma of being targeted by ICE, she is still in hiding. People are in hiding because they attended protests.
On April 5th, there's supposed to be some peaceful protests all across the nation. And it is time for white people to stand up and speak out. Especially if you're a white straight male. It is our time to stand up for the people who have been oppressed and marginalized by this country. I really want us to think about this. Anytime that there's a fight for basic human rights in this country, it's always led by marginalized groups. Whether it's the black community, whether it's women, whether it's the LGBTQIA plus community. When are white men going to stand up for basic human rights in this country? When are white men going to start calling out other white men who love to exploit people in this country? So if you're not already in the game, get in the game, lace up your boots. Black people need some rest and reparations. It's time for us to fight. These white men who are in power, all they do is exploit the red pill masculinity bullcrap. They know their audience. They know they're not very smart. They know they're poorly educated. They know they have that pound on my chest, I'm a tough guy type of mentality, but don't have a whole lot to think with. They know that the people who follow them buy into the get-rich scheme type of things. They buy into the self-help type of BS in hopes that one day they can exploit other people. But it is time for us to stand up and fight. Get loud. Use your privilege for good. We have an administration that talks about meritocracy while their DUI hire is putting national secrets in a Signal group chat. And when you elect a circus, expect to put a tent over the show.
When Putin invaded Ukraine, everyone was asking, where are Russians? Why are they not protesting? Why they're not doing anything? But they did. They did protest. But Russia was already an authoritarian regime by then, and every protest was suppressed and people were arrested for protesting peacefully. So now, if there are so many Americans that are not okay with what Trump is doing, why there are so few protests? Where are the protests? Where are the Americans that live in a free country and a democracy still? Why? Why everyone is so quiet? What are you waiting for?
Good morning. So I just wanted to put a little thought in your head. This entire thing, the relief from this situation is not going to come from kind of messianic figure who's just going to appear out of nowhere and just solve all of our problems for us. You know that, right? This is the people stepping out and expecting Congress to do specific things, and then taking certain actions otherwise. The people. More than one. That being said, they're imploding on their own. So I need everyone to breathe. I need everyone to relax. Take a look at the signal, the signal thread updates. Holy shit, this is getting dumber by the fucking moment. I guess Trump ended up literally yelling at Hegseth saying, "You fucked me," or "You screwed me," something to that effect. I literally just read the report. I had to run out the door, but it's going to be okay. Get up. But the thought, TikTok is supposed to be banned on April 5th. The same day of the protests. Just a thought. Just a thought.
I've gotten this comment a few times. If y'all think I'm getting paid, God, I wish I was getting paid. I'm actually basically paying to do this. I put $3,000 of my own money into 50501 before I got us any type of donor funding. I was putting my own money into this because that's how much I believed in it. And I'm not the only one. And this actually brings up a valid point. Money is not the reason to do things. Money is the capitalistic society's way of controlling us into doing what they want us to do. I protest because it feels incredible to stand up for my marginalized community. I started these protests because someone in my family is transgender and they were scared. And as a family member of them, I said, give me a few months and let me see what change I can enact. And since then, meeting the people from this community has just been the coal to the flame. It was the most eye-opening experience. I did not realize that I was missing community until I met this community, until I met through activism. So am I getting paid to protest? No. But is it selfish because it makes me feel so damn good? Sure, absolutely. And I'm not going to stop. So maybe in a way I am getting paid.
Do you ever find yourself arguing with MAGA folks? Is there a better way to do that? By far, the most frustrating thing about having conversations with people who are MAGA-minded is that they demand simple answers to complex problems. Watch this.
You know what a confounding factor is?
Tell me. Go ahead.
So no.
Go ahead. Tell me.
Okay. So a confounding factor are things that could be contributing to a statistic beyond what you recognized within the statistic. I think that if you want to turn something nuanced into black and white, you're going to run into problems and you're going to automatically come to the wrong conclusion. When you see a complex topic as simple, it does not make that topic simple. It makes you simple-minded.
So how do you win an argument with somebody who is that reductive? I'll tell you, there's only one way to do it. I'm about to teach you the secret. Ready? Get ready with your pencils and write this down. The way that you win an argument with somebody who is MAGA-minded is that you have to...
Well, I just wanted to check in and say hello. I know I've kind of been absent and I have been struggling with everything that's going on. I've been struggling. You guys know that I am a blue dot in a completely red state, and it's tough. It's real tough here. But tonight I got invited to a house party of Democratic women. The house was full. It was wonderful. It was so wonderful to find my people, other than the few close friends that I've had here for so long. I met new faces, and they were all professional women, and it was just absolutely incredible. And a group of us are going to be going to the protest here in Oklahoma City on the 5th. So I'm just wondering, who else that follows me is going to be protesting on the 5th? Who else is going to be hitting the streets on the 5th? If you are, I want you to drop it in the comments. Tell me where you're from and where you're going to be hitting the streets, because we're going to. And I'm going to do my best to be able to live stream if possible. It was just absolutely wonderful. You need to find your people. If you don't have people, you blue dots in red states, you ladies, this is rough. This is a fucking rough deal that we're in right now, because we are definitely the minorities and we need to find our people. And it's felt so good tonight. It felt so good to be in a house full of people where we could say exactly what we think and how we feel. And we're going to go try to make an impression. I don't know if there will be many that here in Oklahoma that will actually show up in Oklahoma City, but we're going to. We're going to be there. So if any of you guys are going to be hitting the road on the 5th of April, drop it in the comments and let me know that you're going to be there, because I'm going to be out. We're going to be out there, and we're going to be loud, and we're going to be proud, and it's going to be great. So y'all get after it. Make you some plans. I hope I don't go to jail. But if I do, our lawyer of the bunch has other obligations that day, so hopefully she'll be able to come get us if somebody has to. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But if it does, oh well.
Oklahomans, the 50-50 protest, it's coming up on April 5th. Let's show up and show out. Let's stand up and speak out. Let's let everyone else know in the United States that not all of us here are MAGA. Not all of us here believe in this administration and agree to what they're doing. Let's show up. Let's speak out. Let's stand up to fascism. We have to come together by the thousands in order to make a difference. Let's show up. Come on, Oklahoma, I know you can do this. Let's show up.
Your daily reminder to get ready for April 5th, the day we stand up to Donald Trump. Go to handsoff2025.com to find time and location and join millions of Americans fighting for their rights.
You aren't alone. I'm in Portland, and I could not for the life of me find protests for a long time. And that's what makes 50501 protests so special. They were able to break through that. We know that the FBI, there's been leaked documents and whistleblower reports that state that they actively surveil us and break us apart online to keep us from sharing that information. And again, that's why 5051 is such a big deal. So the biggest protest yet is going to be April 5th. So it is People's Veto Day, and that's going to be 50501, Women's March, Hands Off, Indivisible, Viva New Mexico. Tons of different organizations are all coming together for this one protest, April 5th, which is a weekend, which is pretty damn cool. They're trying to get as many people as possible to Washington, D.C., but I'll put a link in the captions here and also in the comments that everybody can go to. You find your state. It'll show where protests are scheduled to be in your state. And just spread it far and wide. Get as many people as possible, because that's going to be a good one.
It's time to protest against Donald Trump and his enablers. April 5th is the next nationwide protest at your state capitol or city hall. It's time to stand up for human rights. People are afraid and traumatized and in pain, and those people in power are not serving anybody but themselves. And we, the people, will not stop raising our voices. We will be loud and we will fight for a better country no matter what.
Now, welcome back. April 5th, 2025, there's a larger wave of public demonstration that is being announced in the United States of America. Now, and this protest is organized by various advocacy groups. For example, this protest is organized by various advocacy groups. is largely focused to oppose what Donald Trump and Elon Musk are trying to do. Now, the funny part or the best part I've listened from these videos where white people are asking black people, you can stay at home because you have done a lot for the country. Of course, all these things that are going to protest on 5th or on April 5th, it could have been avoided if they could have listened to black people. Okay, because black people have been talking about this budget cuts that Donald Trump is trying to do. It's affecting each and everyone, not black people only. And the situation has been tough to black people for so long. And black people have been on the street. They have been saying this, that the economy is not good on their side. Let's do something on it. But nothing was done because as white people, we were enjoying. Nothing was on our side. Okay. Now, one of the things that is making these people to go to the street on April 5th is because of the budget cuts. Donald Trump said that he will go for budget cuts. He will cut budgets. He want to bring money in America. And one of the things he was doing is to cut budgets. Now, among the things they are going to protest is proposed cuts to critical public services, including healthcare, social security, education, and civil rights protection. These cuts are seen as it's affecting vulnerable population, including the elderly, low-income individuals, and marginalized communities. When you talk about marginalized communities, we talk about community, black people, Latino, and everyone. But on the other side, black people have been having problem about the health system, social security, education, civil rights. Okay? Black people have been fighting this battle for so long. Black people have been on the streets for so long, complaining about healthcare, complaining about education. We have been having poor education on the sides of black peoplehoods. We have been having poor healthcare system on the side of black people. So, why are you going to the street now? It's because it is now hitting on your doors. It's now on your doors. And that's the reason why black people have said we are going to stay home, is because they are claiming that we told you that this gonna happen. We told you that this will have effect to all of America, all of the communities. But you are like, okay, black people, you like complaining. We are voting for Trump. As white male, we are voting for Trump. As a Latino, we are voting for Trump. Cuban, we are voting for Trump because of the economy. Now see who is laughing now. Black people have said we are going to sit down and eat our popcorns as we watch. Okay? Number two, things that is making these Americans going to the street, more so white Americans going to the street, is about the government restructuring and privatization. Restructuring of federal agencies, which many feel is being pushed by unelected individuals like Elon Musk. Musk's involvement in various public-private partnerships and his increasing influence over government-related ventures have raised concerns that government functions may be privatized, which could undermine democratic control and accountability. I think they want to sell the country. You know, imagine America being a private country, like Elon Musk is in control of everything. And this is affecting the democracy. It's affecting the accountability. Now, the fear is this could prioritize profit over public interest, leading to diminishing quality of essential services and lack of transparency. Because what these two gurus are trying to do is to making something for themselves, making profit. Instead of caring for the people, they are making profit from the country. That's not the issue of black people. Now it's affecting each and every community. Some are complaining what is the role of Elon Musk, because they never voted for him. And he has a lot of influence in the US. And this has raised alarm for some protesters that are going to protest. Some are saying, who is Elon Musk? What is he doing? What is his role? You know? Because people believe that Elon Musk's wealth and influence allow him to exert too much power over public policy, potentially leading to outcomes that benefit the elite and wealthy individuals while sidelining the need of average Americans. And that is true. As we have been saying, this government is for the rich people. And that's what Trump wanted. Is for the rich people. And for so long, rich people have been lying to even the average Americans that marginalized groups are the problem. Black people are the problem. Latinos are the problem. But no. Black people ain't the problem of America. The problem are these elite people, the rich Americans. They are the one who are creating constitutions, laws, and everything. But now, the white Americans, the average Americans who have been lied to for so long, now they are realizing because it's affecting them too. Okay? Now, we have a number of things that is making people to go to the street. And they want to protest as a critical moment in the ongoing struggle over the future direction of USA politics and public policies, because they are seeing that the future of America is going to the wrong hands. And as we are saying, America is falling, the empire is going down. And it's very obvious. But again, I thank those white people who are saying, black people, you just stay home. You have done a lot for the country. Each and everything that these guys are going to the street to fight for, to protest over, are things that black people have been through for so long. And that's why I usually say, black people have been on these movies. They have watched this movie before. They have acted on these movies. And they know the outcome. And they knew what will come out if Donald Trump come to power. See, now they're having the same problems with the black people. Healthcare, education, same problem. No one is exception unless you are an elite. Now, many of the protesters are focused on the rollback of diversity, equity, and inclusivity or inclusion policies, which have been put in place to promote fairness and equity in both public and private institutions. Critics urge that Trump administration and certain business leaders are undermining DEI efforts, which could reverse progress made in addressing systematic racism and inequality. And black people don't care about that, because even if there is no DEI, they have been through the same problem over and over. So they don't care if the DEI goes or remains. But MAGA supporters are regretting voting for Donald Trump. The white people, white America, are regretting supporting this. Some of the Latinos who voted for Trump are regretting, because this is eating them up each and every time. Now, telling black people to stay home because they have done a lot for the country, it's just realizing how black people have been going through hell. Black people have been fighting equity. Black people have been fighting inclusivity. Black people have been fighting what we call economic something equality for everyone, education equalities. Black people have been fighting for this. But a lot of people have been there saying that black people are uncivilized. They love chaos. They love creating problems. But right now, it's for everyone. And everyone is feeling the pain of Donald Trump being in power. That's why on April 5th, they are marching. But black people, you are advised to stay at home. Stay at home, because this protest may turn ugly and it's not good for the people of color. Because once it turns ugly, they are going to target some few people. And those few people are you Latinos and you black people. So just stay at home. And that's not my advice. It's the advice from another Americans people who are saying that black people, you should stay at home because it may be a bait. And again, you weren't going to protest because you once warned about this and you knew the consequences and you have been living in that consequences for so long. So if the outcome comes this, you doesn't care because you have been struggling all your time. So that's the video of today. I don't know what you say on the comment section. Tell me what you think. White people are now realizing their mistake. White people are realizing black people have been true, have been right. So it is their time to have the pain or to have the medicine. Until next episode, peace out.